I guess I have to go back to 2019. No, before 2019, excuse me, 2009. And I used to have a math and science summer camp doing STEM camps around the city of Atlanta. And as a business model, I often was informed by banks that is this a year-round operation? So I took that intel and pivoted and found a school to then begin to do some um, additional year-round access and resources. So the transition from doing hands-on STEM development, career readiness for students who were looking to get going into private schools or going into your magnet programs, I took some of that foundational skills and realized we needed to reach students sooner. And I ended up in the early learning space or early childhood education in 2019 because I knew that we had to reach students a little bit younger than those that we were working with from the math and science summer camp perspective.
And I'm glad you shared that because we always hear start early, start as soon as possible. And yeah, we get it. But when you look at through the lens of what you've done through the camps, through what you're doing with the school, could you please really reinforce what makes it so critical to try to capture young people as early as possible? And then in turn, it's also helping capture parents, guardians, other community advocates as early as possible.
Oh, yes, absolutely. When I first came into early learning, of course, I have a undergrad in public health, a master's in health administration. And I always thought from the data side that I'd work in a hospital setting, but I've enjoyed working in the early childhood space, particularly because in that infant room is where brain development, neurons, so many opportunities for children to develop social emotional regulation that it sets the framework for what type of learner they'll become when they do go into the academic arena. So one of my biggest insight moments was, we've heard data about third grade and the third grade reading skill connection to the prison pipeline. I've heard about eighth grade skills and how that plays a part in someone being eligible to graduate high school. But in my earliest years here at Seven Oaks Academy, Superintendent Wilbanks in Gwinnett County said 52% of kids in Gwinnett were not ready for kindergarten. And that data blew my mind. I was like, wait, did he say third grade? And I had to clearly revisit that. And he was very clear that it's not all over the state of Georgia, but in his area in Gwinnett, that 52% of kids were not ready. And that was a call to action for me that something had to change.